Good morning. I don't know why this shirt is wringing wet, so I'm just wiping wet on top of wet. Good morning. Good morning. What's up? Welcome to Morning Stroll and Chat with Rico and His Opinions Facebook page. What's up? Whew. Yeah, running is good for the soul. If you can do it, get at it. Damn. Let me tell you, shit's crazy. Make no damn sense. You get that work in though. Whew, good morning. Just have to sweat it out. Good morning, Tino. Oh man. Uh, okay. Have two relatively easy topics this morning, but y'all know how I do. I always say, look, I'm not gonna talk long, but still I end up. Yeah, Tino said about to work out, broke thumb and still and broke shit. No, I saw your video when you working out. Yeah, as long as you don't do any thumb push-ups, you should be pretty cool, bro. So, uh, I know I always say, look, I'm going to just keep it short as I do my cool down, stroll and cool down, but y'all know I tend to go on, and please forgive me, but don't really forgive me. Just, if you want to stay on the ride, just ride till the ride comes to an end. You hear me? So, oh, good morning to the Time 40th anniversary release of the album The Time. This land was July 19th, 1981. Shit, what grade was I in? Okay, like the 5th or 6th grade. Let's see, 76 to 78, 79, 8, 81. So I was 11 when that album came out. 40. Yeah, I was like 11. Probably turning 12 or something. But yeah, jamming. That spell cool, cool. Doom, doom, doom. Girl, don't you go away. Uh, Just jamming. So anyway, let me do my little quick house cleaning. I'll get to my topics. Y'all, if you haven't heard, spread the word. That I got this little short story that I wrote years ago, but the story is still very relevant today. It's called "The Greatest Pain Ever Felt." It is a short story that started off as a chapter in a manuscript that I have logged away that I'll probably release one of these days, one of these years, I guess, months. But it was such a long chapter, I decided to make it a short story. It turned out to be 40 pages, 45, 50 pages of me talking about this particular topic. And that is when at age 22, I accidentally found out who my actual biological father was. It was by accident. My aunt, she didn't mean to tell it. Guess it's a family secret. Rest in peace, my favorite aunt, Patricia. And I was still a student at Grambling State University when this popped off. And we were just talking on the phone and just boom. And so anyway, I didn't make contact with him until I was like 26. And I talked to him all the way up, on the phone and stuff, but he didn't ever want to meet me. And that's real weird as shit. But anyway, I met him in person at age 39. And I knocked on his door, found his address and knocked on his door. And he said, "Hey, how'd you find me?" And I was like, "Google, MapQuest." And he was like, "Oh, so I have to give you an A for effort because I've worked aggressively over the years to prevent you from ever finding me." And so Story is 40 pages, 40, 50 pages of me telling the whole story, all the emotions, all the stuff that went along, the conversations that we had on that porch. The conversation, 2.5 hours of conversation we had. Basically, it was like him, it's like me coming to him, it's like him being a goalie in a soccer game. He was blocking every ball that I attempted to get into the net. He was a damn good goalie. Everything I said, he bow. Everything I asked, bow. He wasn't trying to hear none of that. And which is fine, I guess, for those who had no connection. It is what it is. And so, if you'd like to hear the rest of the story, hear the story in its entirety. It's only $10 Cash App, $ Rico the Opinionist. That's Cash App and PayPal. Please, should you decide to partake of the short story, you send the Cash App, please include an email address because it's in PDF format. So I'll email it to you as soon as I receive your payment. So check it out at your convenience. You forget the information, well, it's on this Facebook page that you're on, as well as on this YouTube channel that you're on. It's in the description box, as well as other stuff in the description box. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. The Facebook page, as well as my YouTube channel, Rico the Opinionist. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. You know, you probably thought you like what I say today, but yeah, my opinions tend to vary on various topics. So if you get on this roller coaster, make sure you tighten your seatbelt up tight so you accidentally fall off, or not so tight where you can't unbuckle it and go ahead and jump your ass off in mid-turn in the sky, because some of it gets like that. And I wear a size 58 shoe, so I unknowingly accidentally step on toes. That's not my goal. My goal is just to express my thoughts on my platform. Got it? I guess that's my little disclaimer. So let's move forward. You know, most times I just wake up and all of a sudden I'll look through the news and see some things and see what's going on. And I may not go exactly what's in the news. Sometimes it's just thoughts that come to my head. But sometimes it's opinions that I've given that bear repeating. And I'll go into politics. If you've been on my page, you know I talk about a myriad of things. But one thing I try to drive home is self-accountability within our race. And I know I said that word again. People hate to hear it. Race, 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 race. In this so-called colorless society that people got fooled and thought it was a raceless or colorless. What they call it? What kind of society? They try to fool people on, and people bought it because Obama was selected, pushed in as president. All of a sudden now we're beyond race. It's so stupid. Hell, black men started getting murdered damn near 2 times, twice more than when they were murdered under any other president. Obama, the police went crazy, shooting brothers randomly, killing them under Obama, and then he signed a blue alert law to protect the police. So yeah. About kicking their ass to all the people, all of us who voted for Obama twice. So, now I'm just like it pop back up on this dementia Joe. But anyway, what I'd like to talk about this morning is two things. Number one, in my opinion, I think black celebrities and the middle class has failed our race. My second topic is stop enabling poverty. So let me start with how I think black celebrities and the black middle class has failed our race. You see, and we've said a whole lot of things like, you know, the failure of the race does not mean the failure of the individual. I get that. Well, you can't tell people how to spend their money. They earn their money. I get that too. But they got their money for the very people who they're a part of. Hell, there's black folks that made a lot of black people rich. Yeah, white people put them on, but black people spent their money to your concerts, to your movie theaters, to see you, to your plays, to whatever you were doing as black. Yeah, white folks put you on, but black people spent a lot of their money. And black people wasn't voted for you black political candidates. So all that stuff is out the window in my opinion. If you don't get anything, period, from black folks, I understand, move on. But you get a lot of stuff. You get that energy. You get prayers from black folks. When you go off into the white side of society, they're still proud of you. and want you to do well. When you go off to the white schools instead of HBCU, they're still proud of you. They still celebrate you. So I don't know. So I don't understand why you believe once you get on, you don't owe anything back to the black race. It's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing. And as soon as you get on, they tell y'all who to give back to, the black celebrities and middle class blacks. Nobody's criticizing you for leaving out of poverty in the hood to go move to the suburbs of where you live, of your city. But to pretend that never exists anymore. But you know what's a slap in the face? Is when these black folks who do well in middle class and up, they move to their deep suburbs and their white gated communities, send their kids to all these white schools, and the kids come out Oreos, which is not a bad thing, but be totally oblivious to your own race. That's just weird. As when you still go to church in your hood like you giving back by going to church in a fucked up war zone. You black middle class folks need y'all ass kicked if y'all think that's giving back. I still go to church in Oak Cliff. I still go to church in North Memphis, but you live out in Germantown, deep parts of Collierville. You're not contributing. You're not giving back because you still drive your ass past the war zone to go in there and do your little praise and worship with other uppity elite blacks. Y'all, that's the stupidest idea. The stupidest shit I ever witnessed. You come in from you're right, you've done well in college, you've created a business, you've done well economically, you moved out of the war zone, I get it. Well, don't think you're giving back because you come out and get your hair cut in the Negro barbershop, or because you come out and get your nails done by Kiki in the hood. Boy, that shit is crazy. You do not give back. That ain't shit. I come to the hood, I go and buy my soul food off of Hollywood. And shit, I go to South Dallas to get my barbecue. You know, get out of here, fuck that. You know, with all these symbolic gestures. See, I read history. Hey, Tiffany Sugar. I read history. You know, and history is a great teacher, and people are saying, well, are upset about them taking critical race theory out of the schools, teaching kids critical race theory. I don't give a shit, because as black people, we are the history. We are history. If you're not teaching your own black kids with the books that was written by the scholars who died poor trying to teach us in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and 80s, died poor, giving us, man, the gospel. If you don't teach them about Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, you don't teach them about these brothers and sisters who brought us the truth. Who gives a damn about good morning, E. Some damn critical race theory. Who gives a shit? Yeah, they can teach them that, but it doesn't change the behavior of black kids who still living in the hood. You know, see, to learn history means to embrace the positive and historical aspect of who you are, which is supposed to change one's behavior, meaning to that of self-respect and dignity and self-awareness. Therefore, I look into society with a particular knowledge that I didn't possess beforehand. And I come out here and I make a change, or make change that I want to see. And it will go back to my race. Any change that I make, it'll be contributing to the progression of my people. I know that sounded too militant in 2021, but, who cares? And so, the black celebrities, black middle class, you have failed our race. I mean, I know we be so angry. It reminds me of people who graduate from historically black colleges. Yeah, it's a lot of messed up things going on, I guess, in financial aid. And so they say, I ain't giving back to Grambling. I ain't giving back to, I'm not giving back to Southern. I'm not giving back to my black college because they messed up my financial aid. They had them in regular dorms. But how dare you CEO? How dare you, accomplished actress? How dare you popular politician who came out of the HBCU? So you still mad about that? So if you saw something that was wrong with your institution, or you saw things that were wrong with your upbringing in your ghetto, when you go out, you say, you know what, when I go out and become successful based on the foundation that was placed within me by where I came from, called the ghetto, or the black university, when I get out there in the mainstream, I want to make sure I procure particular funds and a particular attention and I'm going to bring it back so I can improve where I believe I struggled and suffered at before. That's how that's supposed to work. You're not supposed to be gone and leave with an attitude. Yeah, that's y'all think every college student has a great experience at their university, but still they are not remiss in understanding and keeping in mind that my university gave me my foundation. My black ghetto gave me my foundation, because every time it never fails. All you gotta do is go around with a bunch of successful college graduates, black college graduates who are living in nice homes and gated communities, their children going to fine schools, and you meet up with them in a party or some setting, and they pull up in their nice cars. All they talk about is the fun they had at where? Grambling. The fun they had where? At Southern. The fun they had where? At Prairie View. The fun they had where? At Texas Southern. The fun they had where? Delaware State. And all the stuff they learned from who? Their scholarly professors. So y'all cut the bullshit. We're playing games. Yeah, financial aid was a little slow. Yeah, our dorms were not cosmopolitan. But the food, come on somebody. But the food we got out of the ghetto, the food we got from our black colleges, why we're here today to be as successful and articulate as we are today. So how dare you turn your back, black middle class, black celebrities, on the institutions that made you, that gave you the food and the fight to be the person that you are today. Shame on you, goddammit. Shame on you. How dare you? How dare you throw your nose up at it? That goddamn it gave you the gristle to have that nose to throw up in the air. Yeah. How dare you? It's the weirdest behavior. And you take your ass somewhere and grin and cheese all over the world, and you're, I guess that you're doing a favor. Shout out to the HBCU. Shout out. No, we need more than shout outs at these black ghettos across America. You go back there. How dare you go back to the hood? And see, don't look at the grown people. What I do whenever I've gone through South Dallas or Oak Cliff, when I go home to my hometown of Memphis and go back to my neighborhood of North Memphis, shout out to North Memphis. You hear me? You dig? And ran through South Memphis and Whitehaven, parts of Whitehaven. Hell, even through Mitchell Heights, I look at the children. I don't look at the grown people as much. I look at the babies, the children. I see those people there can't help themselves. If you go through a black ghetto and all that you've learned in the world about finance, about education, about building, construction, accounting, all that you've learned, and you don't think about, well, you know what? I can do this here. I don't have to move back to the ghetto, but I can use my talents that I've given to this white company all these years. I can use that talent to, in my way of giving back and appreciate the aspects of the ghetto that I benefited from. When I say you had to benefit from the dope dealing and the shooting and the fighting and shit, but you benefited from the rhythm and the blues of the ghetto. You benefited from the camaraderie of family, of folks looking out for each other. You benefited from the black colleges that way. So the black middle class and the black celebrities, y'all have platforms beyond platforms. But you refuse to use it to bring light. I mean, not just light, but bring physical change to the black ghetto. We don't need no damn city council to do this. You know how many black millionaire entertainers we have? And they can even set up a foundation. They don't have to use their own money, LeBron James. How many talented black folks that would love to work for you, to do the work. You don't have to put your name and face on it, just do the work. I'm talking about to the famous blacks, the celebrity blacks that always, when they get in trouble, all of a sudden then they want to come to the black community. Can y'all help us? These white folks trying to take us down. But you's up there grinning and cheesing and all at their parties and private parties and getting their Oscars and their Emmys and their Grammys and their American Music Awards, everything was fine. So, God don't like ugly. Yes, I'm holding us all accountable. Yeah, why you always wait for the blacks in the ghetto who don't have that kind of funding and kind of platform to do all the work? These sit around on these sports talk shows and talk about black athletes like they ain't jack. Talk down to them and talk crazy to them, knowing what they had to come through. They had to come through single motherhood. They had to go through gang violence. They had to go through dope selling. They had to go through self-hatred in that community to make it out. And you want to get them on there and talk crazy because they missed the jumper? You fool. The black celebrities and the black middle class has failed our race. You know, these same black middle class that graduated from HBCUs and other schools love to quote W.B. Du Bois. Love to quote W.B. Du Bois. That's the only, you know what, it's funny. And what I've noticed, the black middle class, all they quote is the uppity blacks. They'll quote Booker T. Washington because you talk about education. But they don't quote Marcus Garvey. They don't quote Malcolm X unless it's something convenient for them. But they don't quote his self-accountability, do for self black. They don't quote that. They don't quote Nat Turner. They quote all the uppity blacks, the bourgeois blacks, who would say, look, if we work with massa, we can be some good blacks here. All we got to do is work in partnership, old massa. W.B. Du Bois. And then when they put a foot up his ass, as Kwame Brown would say, start kicking his drawers up his ass. Shout out to Kwame Brown. And all of a sudden now you want to move to Accra, Ghana, when at first you told Marcus Garvey, uppity bourgeois, black, biracial, W.E.B. Du Bois, Mr. Souls of black folks. But then all of a sudden, you wrote one article that sounded like you was for black folks and they kicked your ass out of Crisis Magazine and out of NAACP and it hurt your feelings because you thought your French blood, W.B. Du Bois, thought it was so all of that. Until the white folks told you, no, you a nigga too. And then you gonna regret everything you said to Marcus Garvey back in the 1920s when he, in early 30s, he was trying to tell black folks, look, let's get the hell out of here. We can go to Liberia and create our own nation. No, we's good black folks. We hard-working black folks. We is good over here. You causing trouble for us and good Negroes. Yeah, W.E.B. Du Bois. Fuck you. Then when they put a foot up your ass, you're gonna move on to Africa anyway. Man, get out of here. So you might well, if you're gonna be black, might well be black from the beginning until the end. Because every one of us get that wake-up Negro card on some level. So you might well go ahead and be who you are in any space that you're in. Go ahead and fight for your people, because that's our power, is our unity. Elijah Muhammad said, we've tried everything. We've kneeled in, we've crawled in, we tried to kneel in, we tried to crawl in, we tried to sleep our way into the big house with white folks. But we have not tried one thing, that is black unity. And that still reigns true today. We'll do everything under the sun. But we won't say, let's come together and pool our $600 billion that we earn for everybody else and put it within our own educational system for black children. You know, let's put it into programs to teach young girls just because you have a vagina at 15 doesn't mean you're supposed to have a baby. Let's tell black boys, this is masculinity. Not slanging your pee-pee around every vagina with the legs open and creating kids, you dumb bastard. Ugh. You silly, irresponsible little brat. Mary Max, good morning. And so, she said, I was wondering what W.B. Du Bois' background was. Yeah, that's what it is. He was very proud of being biracial. He was very proud of his French, or his French half Frenchness. You know, worse than folks down in deep South Louisiana. Derek what's that? Derek Hollins, what's up, bro? Good morning. So, you know, the black celebrity and the black middle class has failed our race. Because even though those middle class blacks, upper middle class blacks love to quote W.B. Du Bois, he said the talented 10th should be the one to lead the 90% out of blah, blah, blah. But happened, the talented 10th, there's people who call themselves talented 10th. They've taken it literally to the head like they're some kind of elite group. No, you're the one who was charged to do the work, not charged to be the uppity. Talented 10th means those who are supposed to lead the people out of poverty and out of ignorance into education and prosperity. But instead, the so-called talented 10th, they've led into exclusivity. And they feed off the 90% the way white America, the white race feeds off all of us, including the talented 10th. Are y'all listening? So we brought over here for the purpose of being everyone else's utility. And then we turn around and get in small cliques and get to misusing our own. When you get resources, You're supposed to, as the book say, the book that was written in the 70s called The Spook Who Sat by the Door. Black celebrities and black middle class, you are the spooks who are sitting by the door. Now you're in the boardroom. You're supposed to get that information. This is what the book was talking about. A brother who went off to the military, learned military techniques and strategy, and brought it back to the ghetto and taught his people all of the strategies and all the things that were going on. The black middle class doesn't do that. The black celebrities who are allowed to be the spooks who in these particular white spaces don't do that. They get in there and glad to be there. The black politicians say, if you elect me to Congress and the Senate, if you elect me to City Council, if you elect me as mayor, I swear, he leaves out the other part. He said it's real low. I swear, I'm gonna keep the status quo the status quo. I'm just glad to be here so y'all can say I'm your mayor, I'm your city council, I'm your school board member. It's all a game. We have to hold these people accountable, not just as politicians, but hold them accountable to their race. Hold them accountable to their race, because all of us, celebrities, non-celebrities, we've all benefited off the blood, sweat, tears, and prayers off of other black folks. Even though you're living in a white space or you're marrying your money in a white space, but because it was black backs that you stood on to get your ass there. How do we forget that? Yeah, we don't like the behavior. Your behavior ain't no better. Yeah. Well, man, these folks in the hood be doing this old crazy shit. Your folks in the hood, yeah, they do. They're savage. But we left them. We've left them. And we've never said anything about single motherhood. We just think it's cute. I watched the video, Mary Max. You're right. The little bastards there breaking in folks' cars and stuff in Memphis. The crime is out of control. I shared it. You know, and you said it right, the little MF, the little bastard. But anyway, and we have the right to be angry when they misbehave. But also, when we talk about this, it is a cry for us who allegedly used our smarts, reportedly used our brains to enhance other people's lives. I don't understand. You got a black person who's doing really well, can write grants for FedEx and write grants for Morgan Keegan, can write grants for big ass white corporations. I mean, $1 million grants, but can't write a multi-million-dollar grant to change the experience of black kids living in the ghetto. Make that make sense. Shout out to Tommy Sotomayor. How does that make sense? How is your brain shut out when it comes to doing stuff for black people, black celebrities, black middle class? How does your brain does not work? How does it not work when it comes to doing something for your own race? Please tell me. Why do y'all stand on the backs of the poor blacks who are out there trying to fight with their little signs and just saying, hey, and trying to send their emails? Why don't you bring your star power? Why don't you bring your corporate America power to help out the black ghetto? Hell, y'all, all you talk about is it's networking. It's networking. You know, you got to get in there and network. That's all you motherfuckers do. You network for yourself. You don't network for your race. You network for yourselves, and then you sit your ass back in the comfort of your networking and look down on the blacks who are still trying to struggle to get out of there. At least you can do is tell them how to do it. Well, they don't want to hear it. Well, make them hear it. If they can hear rap music, goddamn it, they can hear you. And I'll give you an example of how you can make them hear. You ain't got to do nothing major. All you got to do is go door to door. Know how the Jehovah's Witness try to make you hear? They knock on your door about 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning. They make you hear. So we can do the same thing because you have resources. You can go in there. We have all these organizations, upper middle class organizations, you name it. You can go door to door. Don't talk about no damn voting. Talk about education. Show them a sheet where all the resources are, where they can get out of poverty, the poverty of their minds. Because we can all agree it's a mental health thing. It's poverty of the mind. Some of us are medical people. Go in and open clinics. Put together a $50 million package to open up a hospital in these inner cities. Open it up and keep it funded with your networking through the state and the city. They'll do it. You just have to demand it. Every group has their own little medical thing. They got the Jewish hospitals. They got Catholic hospitals. All this kind of stuff. But what's the hospital that serves the inner city where mostly black people live? But we can do that. We got all these people proud. A medical doctor here. This is Dr. Tyrone Davis. He's a medical doctor. At Hebrew Israel Medical Center. Something wrong with these Negroes. You know, we can be proud in everybody else's space. Now, I'm not saying move out of the comfort and the security of your gated community, but why you going down there, call yourself going to church in the ghetto? Why you call yourself going getting your hair and nails done in the ghetto? Why you going out there going to the blues club in the ghetto? Why don't you also put together a team to put together an economic package to bring some kind of economic empowerment to the black ghetto? Same thing with black colleges. Deion Sanders can't do it all himself. But you got guys who are currently playing football who can use their platforms to bring a lot of funding and influence a lot of black kids to go to HBCUs. Doesn't have to be just black alumni. We got a lot of black celebrities that can, if they would turn their celebrity attention to our race, boom. And then you say, well, Rico, if they do that, then they'll get canceled. Not by us, but then it brings it back to. So you didn't compromise your race for a few dollars. I know we live under capitalism, we gotta have that money. I get that. We'll learn one day, just me, a little broke dude, running every morning during the pandemic. You know, I'm not famous, I haven't been on BET yet. Maybe y'all see me on BET talking, or maybe, wait a minute, but y'all love see me sitting next to Don Lemonade on CNN, then I'll be bona fide. Rico, you ain't been on MSNBC talking. Rico, you ain't been on, you know, in order for us to be legitimate people who have intelligence, we have to be sitting on white networks, to be white-owned networks, to be considered bona fide. Thank God I always thought for myself and put my own source of media out and put my own voice out. I don't need the acceptance, but it does bring in a lot of cash when you get on those mainstream-owned medias. It does bring that notoriety. But then, you know me, I ruin it the next day by saying, hey, let's do some black stuff. Doesn't have to be black, because, you know, we're black and brown. And then Hispanics say, Viva la raza! And the Negro don't say a word. They mean only the race, our race. Shout out to the Hispanics for understanding what for the race means. Black people don't. We need a Viva la Negro. Something for us. Well, maybe not Viva, but... You know, that's something in the African language that we can use, like, because Hispanics would say, Viva la raza, and they mean all of us, Hispanics, Latinos. But we don't have a Viva la raza for our race. We need a cry for that, which means galvanize everybody that's African. Or Americanized blacks. But we can galvanize everybody that's black. All the blacks with money. You know. But I know in order for you to get in that system, you have to sign what's called a moral contract. A contract with your blood and your soul. Say, no, you will not reach back and get back to black. I know it may not be, it appears to be a contract that, because as soon as black folks get on, they're like, I ain't trying to lose this. So I go through the black neighborhood in my nice car and wave at them black folks, but I ain't finna make no change there. I'll throw out some t-shirts and CDs, if they still make them. That'll let them think, and then get the black preacher and get the guy who's over the hood that everybody's really into and think he's cool. We'll get him to say, hey, they gave back. They gave t-shirts to a bunch of kids who are hungry. Boy, those t-shirts are valuable. They signed poster boards at the mall on the white side of the city where black kids had to catch 2 buses to get there and catch a ride to see their favorite black celebrity. You ever notice these famous black athletes never go to the black ghetto to do tennis shoe signings? Or you ever notice that? They never go to a black community center to meet black kids, but whenever they come to your city, they're always in the deep, deep suburbs. And then a few black kids have to be chartered out with some kind of white sponsored bus. Some little white nonprofit sponsors a bus to get some black kids out there in that suburb. Am I the only one who noticed this? You name them, Shaquille, name them all. They always go to a white suburb, and black kids, if they don't already live in that suburb, the black kids in the hood have to somehow hitchhike their way to that suburb. And then they have to get in there. They get in there like, damn, this is nice. How come this shit ain't like this where I live? Just go look through the annals of history. Every black athlete from the NBA, they've never gone to the black ghetto to create a program, or I'm talking about like to do a book signing or just to meet their fans. They always end up in a white suburb where some black people happen to live. You know, let's say, who's a popular NBA player? Let's say I'm in Dallas, right? a popular NBA player. Even on the Dallas Mavericks, good morning, Coach Cheese. Even on the Dallas Mavericks, a famous, popular black NFL or NBA player, you know where they'll go to have their signings at? I live in Dallas. They won't go to Oak Cliff or MLK in South Dallas. They'll go to Frisco or a deep part of Plano, the suburban part of Plano. That's what it is. So if I lived in Memphis, a Memphis Grizzly wouldn't go to Hollywood and Springdale or go to Mississippi and walk in the hood or even Whitehaven Plaza. They would go to Collierville or Germantown, and the black kids got to catch a bus or do whatever to come out there to meet one of the Grizzlies. Or they may go to University of Memphis. They try to even it out, but they won't go to Lemoyne-on. Are y'all feeling me? And these are black athletes who, if it wasn't for the black ghetto, they wouldn't be shit. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Black celebrities and black middle class have failed our race. Y'all can debate it anywhere else. I told y'all, I don't talk about shit. I talked about it on my Facebook page. If you have a question for me about whatever I say on my Facebook page, be prepared to hit me on that Cash App for $150 per question. And I only give yes and no answers. But it depends. If I know you and like you, I give you a follow-up for $50. Everybody else get the follow-up for the $100. You hear me? So if you dare try to ask me a question, I'm only going to deflect it and move on, because that's money you're asking me about. So if you want to hear me, just go to my YouTube channel, come to my Facebook page, like, share, and subscribe, hit that Cash App. I give all my stuff on here. I don't talk about it in person for free. Because as your boy Jay-Z said, I'm a business man. That's how it works for me. Because years of my youth, I gave away a lot of my gems. Having conversations with people, I had to realize black people have no interest in debates and conversations. All they want to do is tell you how wrong you are. I have no more brain cells left. I have no more energy left to be debating with a bunch of Negroes who could have been joining me in fighting. I'm not going to do that. But if you want to ask me a question, I don't give a damn if you see me at a brunch, you see me at a bar, you see me in the mall. Can I ask you something? No, you may not ask me shit unless you hit my Cash App right then and there for the $150. Yeah, because I learned that from when I was a student at Grambling State University. I used to write my newsletters called In My Opinion by Rico. And I used to allow students, see, that's what I ain't know any better. I used to allow students to stop me on my way to class. I want to talk to you about what you said about fill in the blanks. And I stand there and have a conversation with them on my way to class, 5 minutes late to my class, upset, fragile, and just ragged, pissed, or, just amped. Now I got to calm it down. Now I got to take the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes in class to settle down. Then I'm able to pay attention to what's being said in my sociology class. I learned how. I said, no, wait a minute. They're going to have to hit me up with like some donations or something. They can't just be stopping me on my way to class because you read the newsletter, you got questions. So I started telling them, look, email me. And you know what? They would get pissed. I said, if you have a question for me, email me. What you mean? Well, I got to email you right here. No, I don't owe you. I don't owe you permission to my body. I don't owe you access to me. I don't owe you that. I can walk past your ass. I don't owe you automatic access to me. And I learned that on my own. Nobody told me. I had to learn that. You don't owe nobody automatic access because they see you. Because you said something, they really got to ask you. Yeah, sure, if you stop me, that's my time. Hit me with the $150. On the Cash App, $ Rico the Opinionist. And you can ask me anything you want. Or, if a lot of you just really got something to ask me, my speaking fees start at $15,000 minimum. You bring me in there, we can have an hour conversation. A lot of time, yes and no. But also, yeah, my speaking fees are very low. 15 grand. Invite me to your church. Invite me to your group, or whatever organization. But it depends. If it's a church, I'm going to up it to 20,000. I know y'all got that cheese. If it's an HBCU, 15,000. It's cool. I mean, the prices may change. It varies. But if you go to like a big white school, 25,000. I'm probably cheating myself on that, but you got it. Hit me. And also hotel room, food, transportation, the works. Because you want me. But if you say, well, that's all right, forget you, we're gone then. Stop talking to me. Move the fuck on. But anyway, that's my whole spiel on how I think the black celebrities and the black middle class has failed the black race. But you can make up for it. Change your attitude. Stop acting like the black ghetto and the HBCUs did something to you. except for help you to become successful, gave you the stuff that made you the successful person that you are today. The black ghetto did that for you. It did. So I don't understand why this resentment from the hood, for the hood. This resentment. No, you don't have to live there because it's ratchet and raggedy there. But that doesn't mean you go away and stay away. You can go away and come back to help. And again, in closing, just because you go to church in the ghetto, now you live in your nice suburbs, you ain't giving back, motherfucker. That's your ego. Well, you know, or your guilt. Well, I go to church there, but still your church is sitting in the middle of a war zone. Get out of here. Your pastor ain't talking about getting a $45 to $100 million grant to revitalize the black ghetto that his church sits on. Get out of here. Shut the fuck up. What gospel is he preaching? And because you go get your hair and nails done there in the ghetto, you ain't giving back. That's you trying to show people, I'm still down, I'm still cool. That's stupid. Because you go to the blues club there, and then try to hurry up and get your ass out as soon as you hear they play the last Tyrone Davis song. Get out of there. Shut the fuck up. That's not giving back. So, but anyway, I digress. Let me go on to my next topic. My next topic on here is called Stop Enabling Poverty. Is that Rico? Damn, no. Because, see, poverty is a mindset, in my opinion. What's his name? Damn. Somebody put up there, the brother, Gifted Hands. He was the Secretary of HUD under Trump. And he got such a hard time. He would say some weird ass stuff. And he's still saying some silly shit. Like, man, please go back to the hospital there in Baltimore and become great again. What's his name? Mary Max, you still there? Put his name up there. He was the Secretary of HUD over Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson. And I rooted for Dr. Ben Carson. I did. Because he was Dr. Ben Carson. Thank you, Derek. Because he's Dr. Ben Carson. And I wish he'd get back to what is his wheelhouse, which is medicine and surgery. I want him to go back to Johns Hopkins and be great again. Get out of politics. Now, I agree with everybody. He shouldn't have had that position, you know, but I know he's just taking it, and it just, but he said some stuff that black folks didn't want to hear because they hated him because who he worked for. We got to get past that. Hated Omarosa because who she worked for. Omarosa's always been for black folks. And you know what she's been mostly for? Black men. And I think that's why black women refuse to identify with her. Because she always talked about, every interview she would say, my people. And then she always had positive things to say about black men. And there's something about this generation of black women, when you say positive stuff about black men, they get an attitude and they'll cancel their own sister. Maybe that's why Dr. Frances Cress Welsing and Sister Shahrazad Ali and Dr. Cynthia McKinney and women like that are never ever invited to do a workshop or to be on the main stage at the Essence Festival. That's supposed to be the pinnacle of black women empowerment. Unless you try to empower black men and empower black families. But if you're empowering black lesbianism and black feminism, Essence Festival is the place for you to go, sister. Yeah, I said it. And black female fuckery. Yeah, I said it. But those real women, they don't invite those sisters who speak up for black families and speak up in protection of black boys and black men. They don't invite them. And I'm not the only one who ever noticed that. They don't invite those real sisters. Well, they don't give them if they're there, they put them in such a cubby hole, they probably put them in a room where only 6 people can get in there. They don't put them in that main stage where they got 5,000 to 8,000 people there cheering them on, talking to them. They don't do that. So yeah, so you already understand. BET, Essence, all that stuff is corporate owned and lesbian driven. So, Dr. Ben Cosby said poverty is a state of mind. And black folks went bananas. No pun intended, I guess. No pushing no stereotypes. Oh my God, he's so ignorant, he's so stupid. But a lot of stuff is state of mind. It's how you feel. And mental health persons and spiritual gurus and job coaches, job life coaches talk about this. You know, correct your mind, change your mind, and things will become clearer, things become different. Being poor and being uneducated and all that stuff is a state of mind. Now, we can see a bunch of dilapidation and degradation all around us, but in your mind, because I say this because I grew up poor. In the 80s, when 82, 83, 84 hit and crack hit the black neighborhood, I saw that. And I saw the foolishness that came with it. The violence and the crack-addicted men and women and all the, the shit that came with it. I saw that. And I grew up in bullshit. In my own household, in my living room. But I had a mom who always told me, I don't care if you were born and raised in a barn, you don't have to look nor act like an animal. So that stuck with me. And when I hear people say, well, I'm just a product of my environment, that's not required. Did y'all know that? It's not required because dignity is free. Self-respect is free. Loving yourself and treating people the way you want to be treated is free. So I just never I understand it, but I never wholeheartedly embraced that little statement there. Well, I'm just a product of my environment. No, I saw the same people, but again, I have to be fair. I grew up in the 80s when there were still men around, so I try to be fair in this stuff. In my junior high school, shout out to Cypress Junior High School, Coach Bivens, Coach Paul Holly, Mr. Big Man, Coach Harris, Mr. Simon, Mr. Walton, Mr. Lacey. All these men, heterosexual, masculine men that taught math and did the coaching and was the principals, assistant principals. And there was women there too. Miss Edna Davis, who taught us English. Miss A.B. Jackson taught us geography. Even a white one, Miss Baird, very feminine, nice lady. Miss Draper. Did I say Miss Draper who taught us health? Very feminine lady. She had a little smart mouth. Miss Davis really had a smart mouth. She didn't play, period. Miss Edna Davis. Know how they try to make y'all try to say these dumbass pronouns like he, she, them, they? You think Miss Edna Davis, my English teacher in the 9th grade, would allow that? No, she would not have allowed that. No, baby. It's not them, they, him, she, them, they, her. It is I am, we are, they are. He or she. That's what they taught us in the 9th grade in like 83, 84. We had scholars at our junior high school. These women who were throwbacks from the 50s and 60s who were still teaching us in a little hood, allegedly hood, North Memphis off of Springdale. We had teachers, we had black folks who were there who cared about black kids. Yeah, Jermaine Armstrong said, amen, bro. You don't have to act like where you come from. That's right, Jermaine. Good morning, brother. You don't. If it's all that's, and I would always tell young people, the hood is just your geographical location. It's not part of your DNA. So, it's just, we have to start teaching it. So what, you live in the ghetto? But guess what's in the ghetto? Like public libraries. They got schools there. They got books there. So, you have to make up your mind, look, I'm going to read my way out this motherfucker. I'm not finna sit here and go along with this mess. Yeah, I'm poor, but I'm finna go say, hey, y'all need somebody to push these baskets over here at Kroger? I'm not going to steal my way through. People got to do what they got to do. What's up, Kevin Troy? What's up? The actor Kevin Troy. What's up, Graham fam? And so, that shit is not required. And that's what the black middle class and the black celebrities could come in and just tell. It's not required. Go door to door. This stuff can change in 2 weekends. If black folks decide, you know what, I'm finna become race first and go to these ghettos and clean up. Y'all want to see how racist the white man is? Start doing for yourself. See, if y'all truly believe that we live under racism, don't worry about who said you can't come in a building or you can't come in a restaurant and all that. Damn all that. That's old shit. Who said, they're trying to suppress our vote. And every Super Tuesday, you take your ass up there and vote. That's stupid. How about if you want to prove to me that the white man is racist, start taking care of your own people. And if he starts blocking, putting up roadblocks, and all you doing is helping your people get out of poverty, now we can talk. All this other shit, well, the white man racist, he ain't gonna let us do it. When you haven't even tried to do it yet, get out of here. I don't want to hear that shit. So, and we enable poverty by doing stuff that grown people can be doing for themselves. Let me tell y'all something. All this annual turkey drive shit, cut it out. You got all this money. You have all this network and resource power, but you only give turkeys away on Thanksgiving. You don't think people are hungry every fucking day? And you give bicycles away at Christmas. You don't think little boys and little girls want to ride a bike throughout the other 11 goddamn months? See, all these, we're playing games. We're penny pinching with the poverty. Let me tell y'all something. See, I know people aren't serious about making change. For making change, you got to go out there and actually do it. People aren't serious. I'm talking about the people who got the money and stuff. What's that? Let's see, period, help your own people. Right on, Jermaine. See, people are playing games. And I think people know that some people are racing, they scared, they don't want that smoke. So they don't want to strike that match. And so they keep their millions of dollars to themselves, even their ability to gather resources. See, let me tell y'all something. Y'all not helping people in the ghetto when y'all have back to school backpack drives. You're not helping. You're not helping. And I want y'all to listen to me. Stop doing these back to school bullshit ass activities. Did y'all know these people are out for the summer just like the rest of us? Did y'all know that these parents know that school starts every year in August? So why the fuck did y'all do this silly shit by doing back to school backpacks? And to these damn mayors of Dallas and mayors of Memphis and mayors of these cities, why the fuck y'all doing back to school backpacks and shit and back books and all that? Did you know that these folks go to Dollar Tree every goddamn day during these 3 months of summer? Do you know that these folks who know school starts every August, they go shopping during the summer? They buy Jordans. They buy everything they want, but all of a sudden they can't buy backpacks for schools. They know the shit start every August. Stop enabling poverty. Stop doing this stupid shit. Cut it out. Go door to door and say, hey, on the last day of school, you get your kids school clothes, you get them tennis shoes, you get the damn dollar pencils and dollar goddamn notebooks and packs of paper. See, that's democratic shit. You keep giving people fish. You see, let me tell you what Democratic Party does. It always supplies people with fish instead of giving them a fishing pole and say, hey, goddamn it, there go the lake over there. Go take care of that. Stop giving people fish. Instead of them getting a fishing pole, they'll go out and go do other stuff. They say, well, they're going to give us the fish in August anyway. Let me go get my hair and nails done. Let me go and buy these Jordans. I'm going to buy these $150 blue jeans I saw in a video. Some rapper talked about. Let me go and get these fake chains at the mall. Do you know these so-called black poor kids go to the mall all summer? Y'all cut it out, man. What y'all need to be doing is providing priority. And we need to tell the school system, that's the stuff we need to protest. We need to tell the school system. We need to tell the mayor's office, you have access to $500 billion, mayor of a fucking city. Don't give them no damn backpacks. Provide economic opportunity, you lazy bastard, you sorry son of anarchy. See, y'all see how I be thinking? So damn, if y'all can provide, if a mayor's office, the mayor of Dallas, the mayor of Memphis or whatever, mayor of Atlanta, wherever these mayors are, can have the mayor's back to school program. You got a bunch of big and motherfuckers doing a line across a parking lot to get a backpack full of pencils, papers, and pens when they go to Dollar Tree all goddamn summer to buy candy and shit. Or they buy their bleach on $1. Do you don't think these people have $1? Especially in the last 2-3 months, they've been getting stimulus and all that. They got plenty of dollars. Y'all still doing a back to school? Y'all see how people are playing games? I wish I would do a goddamn back to school drive. Some shit they could have done all summer. And school starts every year in August. See, we're not helping. Make these motherfuckers go to the library. So now we ain't give you no bikes at Christmas. But if I say report card has got all A's on, you can get it. That's right, provide priority. You can use that, man, but just let them know where you got it from. Here, Cochise. And that's instead of, enabling poverty. That's how you do it. Say, no. What about the kids? Well, shit, we should have been asking about the kids before she laid down and had get pregnant by a bum. She didn't ask, what about the kids, before she was accepting penis from a bum, from a drug dealer, a failed fucking rapper, a gang member. You ain't talking about some, what about the kids? People are stupid. And maybe I'm out of my damn mind. Maybe I'm out of my damn mind. We were tripping. We're really tripping as a race. It's so easy. We don't live in no third world country. Y'all, look. How many of y'all gone to Jamaica, the Bahamas, Cancun, Belize, Costa Rica, parts of Colombia? Everybody probably hear this, watch this video, is going to some kind of Caribbean island. And if you leave the resort, you're going to see some bullshit. Because whenever I went to Mexico back in college, Acapulco, Saltillo, Mexico City, I always left. If I was at the university, I always left the comfort part. So I want to see the city. And man, hell, a bottle of water in a lot of these places, man, was priceless. These folks are making it happen. And guess what they have? In all that poverty, they have a mother and a father. They're together. Even in their poverty. And I know you go to some parts of Africa and go to the back parts. And so we don't live in a third world country. We live in a first world country. Money is everywhere. All you gotta do is prioritize. But see, the way this American capitalistic society works is it keeps you distracted. Because you got to have people on the bottom so people on the top can eat. Did y'all understand that? The more poor people there are, the more rich people there are. Got to have them systematically poor, and the way you keep them systematically poor is to keep them mentally poor. And you folks thinking y'all giving back with your foundations, bicycles every Christmas, a turkey every Thanksgiving, all you do is enabling poverty. Man, shut the fuck up. Well, Rico, at least they doing something. What you doing? I am the Black Paul Revere of the ghetto, of the black community. I'm on the horse yelling, the foolishness is coming. The foolishness is coming. Get ready to block the bullshit. That's what I do. I'm the Black Paul Revere, goddammit, of my race. And I tell you, the bullshit is coming, or the bullshit is here. So everything I say, just think of me as the Black Paul Revere of my race. Because it's those of you who are 2 times, 4 times better than what I'm doing and what I have, and you're doing the least. You have it, you ain't saying shit, you ain't doing shit. Then get mad when I point out the pink elephant in the black living room. That's what I do. I'm not concerned about any other groups. I'm concerned about our race. And we don't have to agree religiously. We don't have to agree politically. We don't have to agree more. We don't have to agree on shit. But we have to agree as a group that our race deserves all of our goddamn attention. Yes, I keep saying that word that we hate. Race, race, race. I'm going to keep saying it. I don't give a shit. And you know, I was having a conversation with somebody. It's like, well, you know what you put on the internet? Hey, it goes everywhere. Good. I want it to go everywhere. It might block you some opportunities. Good. I wanted to block. I don't give a fuck. I burned bridges a long time ago, and I'm not some all or nothing, absolute, closed-minded, ignorant dude. I'm not. But look, this is the least I can do. Nat Turner did the damn thing. Marcus Garvey did the damn thing. Malcolm X did the damn thing. This is the very least that I can do. Your Jesus Christ did the damn thing. This is the very least I can do, is say something about it and talk about it. Hell, I don't have the heart and the courage of a Nat Turner. I don't have the heart and the courage of a Marcus Garvey. I don't have the heart and the guts of a Jesus Christ. Shit, at least I can do. You understand? Hell. People have resources and access, and you want to choose to enable poverty? No, go door to door like the Watchtower people do and say, look, your poverty is by your choice. You don't have to be poor in a first world country, all these goddamn computers and libraries and stuff. You can read your way out of poverty. Because when you read, it opens your mind and shows you other ways in which you can move out of your situation. And then you have to tell young black girls and black boys, why the hell are you having babies in the fucking 9th grade? That leads to poverty, permanent poverty, fool. Tell young black men, tell you what, let the women be poor. You don't have to be. All you gotta do is control your penis and you won't be poor. So a lot of black boys don't know how to control their penis. They around here getting chicks pregnant in the 9th and 10th grade, sophomore in college and shit, freshman in college. That's why a lot of these black males are poor. Then it leads you to the criminal justice system, because first thing little mama gonna do is put your ass on child support, and you done collected 3 baby mamas, you dumbass. Poverty. That's how you stop enabling poverty. Tell them, look, all right, we're gonna help you with this, but we're gonna stay on your ass as long as you continue to want to stand in line to get free backpacks and shit. And all they do is for political reasons. Everybody want that little free pat on the back. Well, they gave backpacks back to our kids. Oh, you know, they gave out free turkeys on Thanksgiving. Goddamn, you had 11 months to save up $1 for a 10-pound turkey. And they sell them all year round. Hell, you knew when you got some money in October, you should have bought that turkey and put it in the freezer, goddammit. And on Thanksgiving Day, voila, Thanksgiving dinner. But we don't prioritize. We don't prioritize. Man, it don't make no damn sense. And I'm not coming from a place of perfection. I'm always coming from a place of practice. I'm practicing to be better every day. I'm practicing to try to do right. Practicing to say the right things. Practicing to behave better every day. So don't give me that shit. You think you better than people. Or you talking down on people. No, I'm not. Goddamn, I'm talking directly to people. That's how I do in my line of work. As a social worker, I talk directly to you and tell you this is how you handle this. This is how you navigate your way through this. This is how you gain access to resources that are right in front of you. Use what you have that's around you. People have said that to me as a little kid, as a young adult. And it's our job to tell poor people in the ghettos, use what you have around you, not your body. Go past your body and look at that building called a library. Look at that building that's called a Kroger or a Marshall's. Look at that building called a school. Hell, you have resources around you. Yeah, don't nobody go hungry in this motherfucker. Food everywhere. But I don't have a problem with helping people. Let them know, look, all right, little mama, you got your first little boy at 17. You have another one, I'm out. Hell, because we need to get on these politicians. Stop providing free stuff for people who make dumbass choices. When she's a teenager, she don't need no goddamn help. She need the dude who she received a penis from to help her. That's a private conversation. Don't make it public by putting him on child support. No, she needs to have ass and somewhere having counseling and giving some birth control. And he needs to have his ass somewhere and say, look, son, if you can't control your penis, we're going to take you to court to force you to get a vasectomy. Because you don't know how to control your penis. You think your manhood is in your zipper. You need counseling, brother. I'm sorry that your mom didn't provide a father for you, or you don't live around father figures. But you need to go to counseling and get over your hurt, your disappointment, and your low self-esteem. So let's get you into counseling, and we're going to try to prevent from ordering you to get a vasectomy at 16, 17, 18, 19. Because it's going to have to come down to that, because these people act like they've lost their damn minds. Then and tell these hospitals, we're not having any more non-profit county hospitals that deliver babies for free. Put the bill on them and not the tax dollars, because 9 times out of 10, the ones who having all the babies don't pay no taxes. So when they start paying for shit on their own, I guarantee you, minds will change. All these little chicks that go to, like in Memphis, they got the women's hospital in Memphis. They probably got something here in Dallas, maybe Parkland got a women's thing for these little broke chicks to go in there and have these babies on the taxpayers. Take all that shit away. When you pay for your own shit, your mind changes. And one of the last apartment complex I lived in, rent was too high for me to see hopscotch written all over the goddamn sidewalks as I walked up to my apartment. Then I saw little girls had written Cassie loves Jesse and Jesus loves you in white chalk all up and down the steps. Then I look over in the tennis courts. Bad enough, I see people riding them damn scooters in the tennis courts and kicking a soccer ball through there. But I got to see people who taking those pastel colored chalks, orange, green, blue, yellow, and made these big hearts in the tennis courts. So, okay, Let me take my ass up to the manager's office. I have a question to ask them. And when I got there, I said, excuse me, who's the manager? Oh, how you doing? Hi, how are you? Say, has this apartment complex been turned into Section 8? Oh, no. I said, well, I have a hopscotch and drawings of cartoons leading up to my apartment. On the steps, I have notes written to each little girl on my steps, and they have this huge heart of pastel colors written in the tennis court. So let me know if this is turned into a Section 8. I need my rent reduced from the money I was paying, because instead of the rent going up every lease year, going up $50 to $75 every time we renew the lease. Paying too much rent to have all this. I don't need a neighborhood Picasso over here where I live. They said, oh, no, Mr. Rivers. No, we'll take care of that. I said, look, I'll even help. Give me the scrub brush, the soap and water. I'll help get rid of stuff. But the next day when I came up to work, everything was clean and all gone. And of course, you know, when I shared this with other folks, they were telling me I was the mean old dude in the apartment. Those are little girls. Well, you take them to your house and draw up some shit. Or they need to keep them inside their apartment and give them a room where they can draw colors and pictures and shit in their apartment. But not around their apartments where I'm paying damn near $1,000 plus. You crazy? I'm not gonna have that, and I pay all that rent. Like I said, when you paying for stuff on your own, your attitude changes. But if you got on Section 8 voucher and shit, you don't give a fuck. And you should, because dignity is free. The next thing I know, I will say this, one time I came home from work at night, I go upstairs, all of a sudden I see like 20 or 25 smashed pieces of Reese's Pieces candy in front of my door. And I said, now who in the hell put this up here? And of course, my little groups I was doing at the time thought it was so hilarious. Oh, they got you, Mr. Rico, they got you. Well, I just got a broom and dustpan, swept it up. But anyway, so we're gonna have to stop enabling poverty. And let me say this. When I talk about this, in the current situation we're in now, we're in COVID-19 pandemic. They say, well, what about the people who are receiving assistance for their rent and utilities? I'm going to throw that in there. Let me tell y'all this. These are not the same people. These people had jobs, and the jobs went out, or they closed or shut down because of COVID. And people who had been working had homes, they had cars, they had families, children in school, and all this stuff. Well, they deserve that assistance because it comes from taxpayer dollars. We're not talking about these folks, y'all. They're a separate group of folks. Working people who was affected by this COVID-19 pandemic, they're a separate group from the folks y'all know who I'm talking about. Motherfucker, they was poor before the pandemic, they still poor during the pandemic. Guess what? They're gonna still be fucked up because they hadn't changed their minds. So for anybody who was thinking that, they're a totally separate group. Yeah, that rent, and that's taxpayer money. They're not begging for anything. That's taxpayer dollars. Just millions of dollars they're giving out for rent and utility assistance. Yeah, that saved a lot of homes and helped a lot of people keep their families together. People with families, husbands, wives. Or even single moms with degrees who working and maintaining her household with her children. That helped. Y'all know what I'm talking about. These folks have been sitting on their ass way before the pandemic. In these neighborhoods. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. They weren't paying rent before, they ain't paying rent now, they don't have any chance of paying rent then. Or mortgage after the shit is over. So I just want to throw that in there. A separate group. But anyway, I think my walk is about over. My conversation has come to an end. So anyway, if you have not picked up my short story, it's only $10 for the Cash App. It's called The Greatest Pain Ever Felt. It talks about when I met my father by accident. Found out about him by accident. Hey, Kalindra, Richard. Met him for the first time. Or I found out about him by accident at 22 and met him for the first time at 39, and he wasn't having it. So if you like to read that full story, it's pretty cool. Some people call it a page turner. Some people refer to it as an emotional roller coaster. And so check it out when you get a chance. $10 for the Cash App or PayPal. Rico the Opinionist, $ Rico the Opinionist. Please send an email address because it's in a PDF format. I can email it to you as soon as I receive your payment. So be cool. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. It was great talking to you. Thank y'all for listening to me as I rant and share my opinions as usual. Peace.